Hi there, this is Ross from Civicom Marketing Research Services. I'm the head of our online bulletin board offering called ChatterBox. In this video, I'll be talking about the benefits of running a long-term online community. If you've worked with us, if you're familiar with online bulletin boards, or if you've worked with us with your research studies in the past, the most common method would be to basically, run a 3-day activity or a week-long activity, or maybe just a day for your activity. So the main difference of a long-term community is that instead of being set, a 3-day set engagement or a 1-week-long engagement with your respondents, you would have this, let's say, 6-month online board or a 1-year online board that you have full control over. So maybe at the very beginning, you would run it as a typical online study. You would have like a 3-day activity, set it up, invite respondents from your pool of names, or maybe you only have like an initial 25 or something like that, and have them participate. They answer the 3-day questions, they go through the 3-day activity, and that's that. But your site, your community board, will not close. That activity or that phase of your study might be closing, but we are still maintaining that board ready for you to jump in and create, not just send feedback. You can always send feedback and communicate with those responses after the 3-day activity. But since it's going to remain active, you can still communicate with these respondents after that initial kind of outreach. So if you have any follow-up questions with them during your analysis, you can absolutely do that. You can still reach out to them. If you have a quick activity that you want to add, and it's been like a week after your initial kind of 3-day study, you can do that. You also have the option of you absolutely have the option of doing it yourself, so you don't have to have anyone from your team like schedule a detailed kind of setup and here's a discussion guide, set this up this way, review, test, program test, and then push out to your respondents. If it's really simple, if it's really just a question or maybe even a forum topic or a live chat session, just plug it in there, send out the invites to your respondents, because again, they are still active, and when they get back on the board, they get in, they answer, in and out, really easy, and you get the information that you need at that time without having to wait for other pieces to kind of fall into place. It's a really quick way to just implement something in addition to your original study. So that's one of the benefits of having a long-term community. That example is really more on the shorter term, like after a week or so, or maybe after a month from your original activity. Now let's say maybe you want to move on to a second phase of the study. It could be related to your original topic. It could also be a totally different topic. Or maybe you can take some findings from that initial study that you've run, and maybe part of that setup you think still works. So you can pull and even copy some of that setup and kind of just replace some of the information, the bits and pieces in there, to fit a totally different product or a totally different topic, or maybe a different ad. Maybe just the stimuli is just going to change. So you can quickly swap those out, but the main structure remains the same, and that's going to save you a lot of time in terms of the setup. So the structure is still there. As long as that site is active, as long as your project, that long-term project is running, or that long-term community that you've created is maintained, your structures, the things that you program there, the activities, will still remain and is available for you to access and reuse. And it's as easy as copying and pasting, basically. So that's going to save you a lot of time in terms of the setup if you need to recreate a setup that worked, but it's for a different topic, or maybe even a different client altogether. Okay, so those are the first 2 benefits of running a long-term online community. We'll talk about more ways you can take advantage of long-term community studies in another video, so stay tuned for part 2.